Hey guys, I'm Nick Cirmo, and this video is to help you and your boys have a great time on our rocket launch, our Pack 301 rocket launch. We do this every year. This is our, fourth year? This is our fourth year of doing it. We've always had a great time, and it's been better every year too. So I'm Nick Cirmo. This is my awesome son, Alexander Cirmo, and he's gonna help me show you a few things. We're gonna go through in this video how to build the rocket that we have today. Every kid is going to get one, and we're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about launching. We're going to go through everything clearly and specifically, but just once. And of course, the power of YouTube is that you could watch it over and over again if you'd like. So the first thing, let me show you my shirt. Anybody with this shirt that you see is what I call a launch commander. Thus, launch commander. All right, they may have this shirt. I hope we have them all from last year, but safety first. Anybody with this shirt oversees one of the launch areas, of which we have 5 launch pads. So those are launch areas. It's the launch pad, and there's other things which I'll show you later. But you can ask any questions of those launch commanders and they'll answer them for you. But by watching this video, we'll be able to get a head start on a few things. So let's start off first with how to construct a rocket that you're given today. All right, so this is what you're going to be given. It's called the Shooting Star rocket. Can we get a close-up of that? All right, every child and parent takes one. So to open it up, just be careful at the top. They started wrapping these really tightly with tape, and it's easy to damage it. So kind of tear the plastic away, but if you're not careful, you could actually damage it. It's just cardboard. So take everything out of the package, and let's see here. Okay, so the nose cone is attached, which is nice. Here's the directions, which you may or may not need. Parachute, fins, and then this is the engine. I'm not sure what it's called. It's what stops the engine from coming out. Okay, so first things first, lay out everything here. So we have nose cone, which is attached to the shroud, which is attached to the body, which is attached to the engine. Oh, maybe it's the engine mount. I think that might be what it is. And this is the parachute. So the first thing you do, take these out of the package. So you have 4 fins in the package. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is so easy to put together. Oh yeah, next thing to do is take the parachute out of the package. And then open the parachute up like this. Don't open it all the way, there's no need to. All right, but this is so easy to put together that even Alex can do it. So I'm gonna be telling you what's going on and narrating while he's putting it together. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna find your 3 cords. There's a loop at the bottom, and you're gonna find where all 3 cords come together. So he's got 1. You can get a close-up of this. You got 2, and then he'll get the 3rd one. And 3. All right. So notice how he has all 3 together, and he has a loop at the bottom. And it's okay if it's not perfect up on top. It doesn't have to be. All right, so now what's the next step, Alex? Here's your shroud. Now what do? The parachute goes under. Yep, take it out. And where's the tip of the parachute? Tip of the parachute now goes through where your finger is. Goes through the hole where your finger is. Now grab the tip of the parachute and pull it. Now notice that? Can you get a close-up of that? You should have a nice knot just like that. Anywhere in the shroud, it really doesn't make any difference. Anywhere in the in this shroud right here. But notice how the parachute is attached like that, okay? So the next steps are attaching the fins. So go ahead, Alex. Now the fins go upside down. Here, get a close shot of that. Notice how the fins go upside down. See these tabs? They fit right into the tabs on the rocket itself. Now they're loose, so they may want to fall out. If that happens, just hold the rocket upside down, and of course gravity will keep him in place. So those tabs go right into the go right into the tabs on the bottom. Just move it around if if it doesn't go in perfectly. Pretty basic stuff here. And then push it up. All right, so there, and then turn it upside down. Now take your engine, what the heck did I call it?
Mount.
Whatever it is. Yeah, the engine mount. And you see the tabs here. Actually get a close-up of those tabs. Now see on the bottom here? You see those tabs, and then see these tabs? And you see how it lines up? So just line up these tabs with that. Now you're going to be taking this off soon, and then twist it. And when you twist it, it holds in place. When you twist it the other way, it comes off. Easy on and off. Now, let's just continue on with the rocket now. Yeah, let's continue on with the rocket now. Let me get into the engines and a few other things. All right, so the first thing we're going to do once the rocket is assembled and it is ready to go. Okay, so your completed rocket looks like this. It's got the fins on it. It has the engine. What do we call it? Engine cap?
Engine mount.
Engine mount. Yeah, I think it's engine cap. All right, we'll call it the engine mount. Whatever. And then here's the parachute, and here is the nose cone. All right. So I'm going to show you how to properly prepare the rocket for launch. Now, first things first. These are the engines that we're going to be using. Now, there's two types of engines. One is a B64. So that's a B-class engine. It's got 6 seconds of thrust, and there's a 4-second delay before the parachute blows out the top. In other words, is deployed. Now the big boy, its big brother, is a C65. Now the C-class is twice the power of the B-class. It has 6 seconds of thrust, 6 seconds of C thrust, and there's a 5-second delay. So this carries the rocket much further. Everyone is going to launch with a B64 first, and we're going to check the wind, and then we can get into the C64s. Either one is going to be a great launch. We're going to see how the wind is, but everyone has to start with a B64 to get started. They both work the same way. Okay, so here's how we do it. We're going to take off the engine cap, the engine mount. We're going to start off with the B engine. Okay, now notice we have the top. This is the top, and this is the bottom, and there's the nozzle. Okay, so the nozzle is out, so it's very easy. Just put it inside, and you'll see it sits in there. It sits in there loose. It doesn't fit in there with any, with really any structure. Now take your engine cap, your engine mount, and find your tabs and twist it, and there you are. That's what your engine needs to look like at the bottom. Notice the nozzle toward the bottom. The next step is, and this is important, so listen carefully. There's wadding that has to go in to protect your parachute. If you don't use wadding, it's not, when the charge deploys, your parachute's going to burn up. So in each of these containers, you'll find a metal container like this at each one of the launch stations. You're going to find a package like this or a package like this. I have a bunch of it. I'm going to bring it all. So let's open up. This is wadding. This is fireproof wadding. It's just fireproof paper is all it is. So we're going to find out how many sheets we need. Every rocket is different. I can't remember what this one takes, but I'll tell you in a second. So how many sheets are we going to take for this? Notice this size, but that one's a little bit different size. No matter which size it is, because some sheets are different, you're going to get approximately the same amount. So what do we have here? I'll tell you exactly what we need just by crumbling it up and based on the dimensions. Okay, so 1. Okay, so 2 should do it. All right, so 2 full sheets of this. So I have 1 crumbled up, and then so approximately this length. Again, these may be a different length, but approximately this total amount. Now, when you crumple these up, do it very loosely. It's important that you do it loosely. Okay? And then you're going to push this inside before the parachute goes in. So all I'm going to do is push it in gently. Don't crumple it tightly, and don't pack it in. If you pack it in, it won't deploy when the charge comes out. All right? So notice loosely. Okay, done. Your parachute. This is how you properly prepare your parachute. at this condition, you know, obviously when it's opened, it's going to be different than it is now, but you want it to be like this. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. Fold it once, okay? So fold it till it's like that. Fold it again. Gently, and I mean gently, wrap the lines around it, okay? Now, on top of your wadding, put your parachute. Gently push it in. Please be gentle. If you pack it in, it's not going to deploy. Now, your rocket should be up and down like this, and I'm going to gently just allow everything to go inside. Put my shroud right on top. Okay, now some of the nose cones are going to be a little loose. If they are, I'll have tape and you can put a piece. Most of them, this one fits perfectly. Most of them fit perfectly, but that's it. So right now we're actually ready to launch. So let's go to the next step. All right, so the next step is you're going to find a igniter. This is an igniter. I'll show you up close. So an igniter's job is to take the charge from the launcher and to turn it into you know, a primary ignition for the engine itself. All right, some of them are going to be torn apart, some of them are going to be in two like this. If they are in two, just gently tear it apart, but please be gentle, because that's you know, equivalent to like a match, like the top of a match. It's essentially just a little strip of tungsten with a primary powder on the end, and it's really easy to break. All right, so you're going to just do a light spread on those. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. Now, the next step is have ready to go. You're going to find these. These are the engine plugs. So you're going to find this in here. So just take one off. Now, sometimes they have these little tabs on the bottom. Get rid of that tab. Just twist it. All right, put it back in here. Now, that's what you're going to end up with. That's what it has to look like before you use it. Sometimes the little remnant pieces of tab are around there, but when you're finished, that's what it has to look like, and it's important because it has to work in the end here. Okay, now let's put the igniter in. So I'm going to take the rocket upside down. The rocket's all ready to go, has its wadding and everything. Now, away from the launch lugs. These are the launch lugs. This black thing. On the opposite side of that, I'm going to take the igniter and gently push it in and bend it away from the launch lugs. While I have it in my finger, I'm going to take my plug. Again, everything is gentle. If you're too forceful, you'll snap the igniter. And just push that in just enough to hold it. And there we are. Okay? So that's ready to go right now. All right, so before I get into the other stuff, let's actually go through the launch sequence, and then we can get to some other stuff. Okay, so Alex, hop up. Okay, so there's going to be 5 stations that look very much like this. This is the launch pad. These are heavy-duty launch pads. We've had standard-duty ones in the past that have really taken a beating. This is the launch rod, and this is the safety cap. The safety caps always need to be put in place when the launch pad's not being used, for many reasons, but there's a whole bunch of reasons. Practically, so it can tell us which way the wind is blowing, but of course also that's a kind of a sharp end on the launch rod. Okay, so now I'm going to take my engine. I'm going to hold the launch rod. See the launch lugs? I'm going to gently feed it through the first one and the second one, and I'm going to feed it all the way down. I'm going to feed it all the way down just like that. Okay. And now sometimes I might have to bend this up a little bit on the bottom, the igniter. Okay, that's ready to go. Now, the next thing you're going to see is, why don't you come over here, Brandy? Let me leave that over here. Okay, now every launch station also has a launch controller. So this launch controller is what we use. Now notice how long this cord is. This cord is to protect us. This is overkill for these size rockets, but safety first. This pin always needs to be out. Very, very important. This pin is out until we are ready to launch. That pin cannot be put inside until you're ready to launch. If it's stuck inside, that means that this is live and that igniter could go off. Now, these engines burn at 2,700 degrees, and you can burn a finger off. You can easily give yourself third-degree burns. If this pin is out, it cannot ignite. The safety inspection on these is very, very high from Estes. And these are the best controllers we can get. So as long as that pin is out, we're safe. So watch, pin is out, laid down, nobody playing with it. Now we're ready to attach the alligator clips. Let's go. These are the alligator clips. Okay, which side you attach it to, it doesn't make any difference. Very simple. You just open them just like any other standard alligator clip, okay? One on one side, one on the other. Now, am I afraid it's going to go off? No, I'm not. Why? Because the pin is not attached. Now, so I have confidence. Now, these need to stay apart. Sometimes they want to get together and hang out. So just make sure that they're not. Again, your launch commander can help you with that. So just make sure the alligator clips are apart from each other. Normally it's not a big deal, and it's not a big deal right there, okay? Let's go back. Now we're safely away. We have our rocket ready to go. And come here, Alex. Alex is going to put the pin in. Now watch what happens when you put the pin in. All right, this is the safety pin. Go ahead. Ready? Look at that. All right, that red light means that there's a connection made, and that at any point when I press that button, this rocket will launch. Okay, so notice. The key is out. Now the key is in. Now press the key in, and you have the red light. If you don't have the red light, it means that you don't have the proper connection on the other side. And notice when it's out. So when you launch it, you have to hold the key in and then do 3, 2, 1 and depress that. Now, I'm not going to launch it now. I just want to show you all that, right? This is proper. It's ready to go. Let's take a look down at the rocket. You can see that it's ready to go. Okay, this is ready to go. We could do 3, 2, 1 blast off right now. Okay, so let me show you a few other things in the essence of time. Notice I took that pin out. Let's go back to that. Look, the pin is out. No one is near the launch controller. That's exactly the way it needs to be if you're going to approach a live rocket. Now I'm going to remove these alligator clips and render it safe. Okay, and that's fine for now. So you understand the launch sequence, launch pad. Let's go through a few other things. Here, Alex. So let's go through the model rocket motor. I'm going to show you a few things. Why don't you hold this up, Alex? Come over here. A little bit higher. There we go. Okay. All right, so let me show you an engine. And okay, so this is the engine. This is a C65. Remember, the B64 is inside the rocket right now. So here's the different parts. So starting at this end, we have the clay nozzle. Here's the clay nozzle. By the way, this is a cutaway. You see, this is an engine that's been cut in half. We have the clay nozzle. This is where the force comes out. Now inside there we have the rocket propellant. Now there's twice as much rocket propellant in a C engine as there is in a B engine. So this is the rocket propellant. Now if we continue up, we have the delay charge. That's approximately right there. That's going to send out smoke so you can see where your rocket is and you can track it. And then finally we have the ejection charge. That's literally an explosive about right there where that C is. That's an explosive, and that deploys the parachute. That's the cap on top to hold everything in place. And as you can see, there's the cap. Okay, so that's the construction of an actual rocket motor. Let's look at the next item. Okay, Alex, why don't you hold that for me? Let's go through a flight sequence, proper flight sequence. So here's what we have. Number one, we have the electrical ignition and liftoff. That's when the engine actually leaves. Matter of fact, it's easier. Alex, come over here. Let me do this. Stand here, and then Brandy, if you'll stand over here. All right, now come back here. Stand right there. And move your hands. All right, good. Now you can see everything. All right, so let's go through each of these. So we have the electrical ignition and liftoff, right? 3, 2, 1, blast off. The rocket, that's stage 1. Stage 2 is acceleration. That's the rocket traveling in the air. It's getting up to maximum speed. Okay, stage number 3, that's the coast. That's the engine burns out and the rocket continues to climb during the coast phase. Okay, so there's no acceleration there whatsoever. Now, number 4, we're at peak altitude and we already have the smoke that have come out, so we know where the rocket is. There's that delay time, and then boom, we have the ejection charge. Now the ejection charge forces out everything. Just like this. Your wadding, your parachute, everything comes out. Everything comes out, okay? So including the parachute. All right, so now the parachute opens. Hold that still, buddy. So the recovery system is deployed in number 5. This is the recovery system. Number 6 is the parachute opens and the rocket safely comes down to Earth. That's level 6. Okay? So those are the 6 levels of a rocket launch. Okay, now just one more thing I want to show you. Science related. There you are. Now there's only one real science thing I want to show you, and that's called Newton's third law. You can just keep that on there. That means for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what does that mean? For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Here's an engine firing off, and here is the nozzle. So force comes out of this and it forces it forward. There's a reaction to this action. Let me show you this. Here's a ball. Now I'm dropping it. Why is it going down? Alex, why is it going down?
Gravity.
Gravity is pulling it down. Is gravity a force? Yes. Now, watch what happens. Why isn't it going down anymore? Why isn't it moving down? Because there's a force greater than gravity. There's a force greater than gravity, and that's my hand pulling it up. Now when that force ends, gravity is a greater force. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I release this ball, and there's an action played upon it, which is the force of gravity. The reaction is it pulls it down. Okay, it's exactly the same thing. Newton's third law. It's one of the most important things that we understand in the world around us, the world that God created. Okay, so let me show you one more thing. This is exciting. Okay, Alex, that's good. Now, because you watched today, I'm going to do a little raffle at the end, and we are going to raffle off not one alien invader. Alien invader. That sounds kind of scary, Alex. What do you think? Alien invader for all you guys who watched. Okay, I'll take your word for it if you watch this video. We have that and another alien invader. Ooh, aliens. So you guys are going to have 2 chances to win those, and if you don't win that, you're going to get to possibly win the bonus prize, which is the AC Supply catalog for this year. I think that's all I wanted to cover. I think we're good. Again, your launch commanders are going to be there to help you. You can watch this video multiple times. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at nick@440group.com, nick@440group.com if you have any questions. But everything should be covered, and we should have a great day. So thanks again. Thanks for watching.